this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again, sitting in a parking lot. Yeah, if you listen real carefully, you might even hear some people playing pickleball. I know I hear some lawnmowers in the background there. I had to open up the windows. It was getting kind of stuffy in here. So anyway, here's the story for today. Yesterday, I went to get my windshield repaired. Yeah, you remember I had a crack in the windshield? Yeah, that happened on Easter Sunday. So what happened was, we were on the highway going to my brother-in-law's place for Easter dinner. And then, a car kicked up a rock, hit the windshield. Yeah, it didn't break it. Nothing happened. I go, wow, we're pretty lucky. A couple of minutes later, another one gets it. And that one cracked it. Yeah, we had about 9 inches of a crack. And I had to go to Kentucky, as you know. Went to the Ark Encounter. Talk about that in a minute. And the Creation Museum. And so I says, I'm not going to report this to insurance until after I get back. So I reported it to the insurance company on Sunday. On Monday, he called me back. I sent him a photo. Yeah, I'll put a photo up here so you can see what the crack looks like. I said, yeah, this thing's 15 inches long. I says, my understanding is our comprehensive will cover this with a $100 deductible, and he agreed. He says, send it to Safelight. Safelight's probably the largest company around here that does windshield repairs. So Safelight sent me information via the internet, via email, and you had to go through a little survey so they kind of figure out what it is that you need so they make sure they have it. Yeah, I always got a little itch. I think it is that after you take a shower and everything, your skin is kind of dried out and you just have an itch here and there. So anyway, so they said, no, you're going to have to bring it to us. We're not going to come to you because I have a lane keep assist camera. Yeah. Here, let me show you that. Let me take the camera off of here. Can you guys see this? This thing is the lane keep assist camera, this big long thing here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, and then I have a microphone here. This is for my what do you call that? For your cell phone when you're making a phone call, for the hands-free stuff. So they said, the camera has to be calibrated, and we can't do that on location. You have to bring it to us. So I drove out to them, and took 2 hours to do. They replaced the windshield. They did a good job. It looks really good. I mean, it's glass. I mean, how could they mess it up? But yeah, it looks pretty good. Here, how much does this cost? Here's the invoice. So I asked the receptionist, how much is this thing going to cost the insurance company? So it says here, replace with new solar third visor frit, whatever that is, condensation SE. I don't know what that is. Selling price was $273.22. The labor to install it, $192.68. It says kit, $30. Extension, $495.90. Okay. Then it says recal static, replace with new ADIS static recal serve. Don't know what that means. I believe that is recalibration service. That's $300. And then it says tariff relief, $5.40. So parts subtotal was $308.62. Labor subtotal was $492.68. Subtotal $801.30. Sales tax $25.49. Deductible, that's from me, $100. So the insurance total will be $726.79. So the grand total was $801.30. Yeah. Plus the sales tax of $25.49. So yeah. $800 and something to replace the windshield. Well, it was not just that; it's the calibration. But man, $300 to calibrate the camera. What are they doing? I'm thinking all they have to do is just stick it back on there and line it up. That's $300 service. That costs more money than the replacement of the windshield. The service charge. What was the service charge of the windshield replacement? Labor $192.68. So is the recalibration that much more than the labor to replace a large piece of glass? I think they're making some money here. So anyways, lane keep assist is very important for me because if you tend to fall asleep, which I tend to do sometimes if I'm driving long distances, like Kentucky, I didn't fall asleep, but I was gonna get to fall asleep. If you start swaying off, the lane keep assist camera will look at the lines on the highway and keep the car within the line. Yeah, in fact, I could literally let go of the steering wheel and the car will drive itself. If there's a curve and turn, it'll turn your car. I've done that before on the highway. I've just let go just to see what it'll do. It turns the car and recorrects the car. So it's a very important feature to have, and you want it totally calibrated. You want to stay in the center of those two lines. You don't want to be slightly off, right? But very expensive. 2 hours to replace everything and repair everything. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty good. So anyway, that's done. So I'm happy with that. I don't know. I don't think I would like to drive a car without lane keep assist anymore. I mean, I had to drive to Kentucky with Mrs. Wright's car, the Honda SUV, the CRV SUV. All these letters. But it's a 2011 model, and it doesn't have all these fancy features, right? So yeah, you have to stay awake, and nothing keeps you dead centered. You know, if you're off a little bit. This thing, when I'm steering the car, I could actually feel it pull me back to more correction if I'm slightly off the center. Yeah, it's kind of funny when the first time you drive the car, but it's helpful. I have another feature that's for the brakes, right? If you get too close and they think you're getting too close and you're accelerating, it'll start beeping on you. Now, I don't know whether it really slams on the brakes for you or anything like that, but it'll start beeping that you're too close to the car, in front of you, that is. I don't think I want to test that. I have to trust that it'll brake it. I have no idea if it'll actually brake the car or not. But at least you have some warning. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about this Creation Museum and Ark Encounter. Now, I don't want to talk about the exhibits. Here's what I want to talk about. The video that I made to tell you that I went on a trip, okay? I was waiting for somebody to say, "Is that your stomach growling in the background?" Yeah, it was. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to see if anyone would notice. Nobody said anything. Maybe you guys are just too polite. Yeah. No, it was a Sunday morning. I didn't eat anything. I got up, you know. The microphone is right here. It's right next to your stomach, essentially, almost. So, yeah, I was picking up everything. Not a single person said anything. Yeah, you guys are just too polite, maybe. I mean, if you have earbuds on, you could hear it. I guess if you're listening on your iPad or your computer or TV, maybe you don't notice it. I don't know. I noticed it right away. Yeah, that was a good trip. Yeah. Would I do it again? I would if somebody else was driving. It's very tiring to drive that distance. Yeah. The rain was coming down when we were going there. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned that. It wasn't so bad, but it was raining as we were going there. But during the time when we were at the two museums on the 2 days, after we got there, the first thing we did is we went to the museum, and when we did that, it stopped raining. Yeah, so it was really good. The next day we went to the Ark, and it wasn't raining. Yeah, so we did the Ark, and we were going to go through the Ark a second time, you know, because it was going close to the end of the day, because they opened till 7 p.m., and we were there pretty long, almost up to that time period. We got there around 9-ish? No, 9:45? Yeah, I think we left at around 9:45, so we probably got there closer to... Did we leave at 9:45? No, we left at 9 o'clock. Yeah, we got there a little after 9 o'clock. Yeah. So anyway, it didn't rain until we were inside the buildings we needed to be in, things after we did the Ark, and we went to see a couple of movies about the Ark in there in a big theater. And then, as we were about ready to go out to maybe go back to the Ark another time, it started to downpour. I mean, it was, we were saying how appropriate. It's raining, it's flooding. I mean, it was really downpouring hard. Yeah, several of the employees that worked there, they got caught in the rain, and they're coming into the building, and they were totally drenched. Yeah. I go, well, pretty appropriate. But we just sat there and we waited until it stopped, and then we got on they bus you from the parking lot to the Arc. So then we got on the bus and we went back to the parking lot and loaded up the car with the scooters, and we didn't get wet. Yeah, so we were pretty lucky. Going home, yeah, it started to rain on us, and it was coming down real hard, and that's tough when you're driving at 70 miles an hour on the highway. Yeah, speed limit out there is 70, and so let me make sure my car is turned off here. This thing is still on. I don't know. It's probably because I didn't hear. Let me open the door. You open the door and close the door, it supposedly will reset itself, right? Let's see. Okay, there. Okay, hold on. There you go. The lights always stay on until it decides to turn off. It's by itself. But yeah, they drive at 70 miles an hour, and it was downpouring really hard. I could barely see the car in front of me. So for about an hour and something, I was driving that way. And then it finally let up. But man, I tell you, that 1 hour felt like 3-4 hours. I mean, it drains you so much because you're intently watching to make sure you don't crash into something. And it's Mrs. Wright's car. I'm not used to driving the SUV. I'm used to driving a sedan, and so it's tougher for me to do that. Eventually, I was tiring out, so we switched drivers. Mrs. Wright drove for about, I don't know, another hour and a half or so, something like that. So she drove to that Albanese candy outlet, and then after that was done, I drove it back. Back to Chicago area. So it's interesting that it drains you so much that I was really tired out from it. So yeah, I could fall asleep easily while I'm driving if I'm not careful. So anyway, that's the story for the windshield. I just wanted to at least let you know what happened with the windshield, and everything's fine now, until the next time somebody tries to crack our windshield. Windshield looks real clean. Yeah, it's really clean looking out there. I actually keep my car relatively clean. Yeah, I would say, compared to some people who have their cars are kind of messy. Mine's is really clean. Yeah, it really is. I dust it down and everything, and I try not to put too much junk in the car. I mean, there's things in the side panels of the doors. We have like menus and things like that from different places. I think Mrs. Wright puts that all in there. It just started that way, and it just cuts. Whenever we pick up a menu, we throw it over there. But in the car itself, it's pretty clean. In the back of the car, I don't know if you can see. I usually have a towel there. Not that anyone ever sits in the back, but sometimes I throw things in the back seat because I don't usually drive people. It's usually just me. So the trunk of the car has my scooter. So, if we get groceries or whatever, I usually just toss it in the back seat because the trunk is all filled up with the scooter. And so to keep the seats clean, because these are cloth seats, I have a towel always on the back seat. And then I have these chair covers and headrest covers. This is a beige interior, so if I didn't have that by now, the seats would probably be pretty dirty looking, right? Because you're sitting on them and messing things up. So yeah, I got these at Costco. Where else would I get things? I think it's time to replace them. I think this is my second set. I bought one of these before for the previous Elantra. I've had 3 Elantras, right? And so I think this one's about due for replacement. I'm not sure. The one I'm sitting on has got some rip on it because you're in and out of the driver's seat a lot more. So time to replace, I think. Anyways, I'm waiting for Costco to eventually open at 10 o'clock. It's only 8:38 right now. I came out early because I wanted to at least make a video and let you guys know, what's been happening. I'm just sitting at home. It's uploading a video right now. I did a video with the Eupree Stellar Falcon, and Eupree has actually sent me a bunch of accessories to outfit that more. And I think I noticed something about display screens. Maybe they have an updated display screen or something. So maybe he wants me to update the display screens. Don't know. He just sends things out. He does. He sent me a computer. Yeah, he wanted me to update software on my red Stellar Falcon. And so I says, I don't have a Windows computer to use. I mean, I have Windows computers, but they're really old. They're desktop units, and you have to pull them out and everything. It's been sitting in the basement. I use a Mac. So he sent me a laptop. So I says, well, do you want me to send this thing back? Where's the return UPS label? Typically he pays for all that. Yeah, he didn't send me anything. And so I finally talked to one of the technicians and go, hey, is Daniel going to send me a thing so I can return this computer? He goes, no, he wants you to keep it. I tell you, this guy's really generous. He sends me a computer. He sends me the updates. He sends me accessory parts. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Some of the companies are really, really kind of good. Eupree being one of them. They're pretty good. So anyway, Electric is another one that's pretty good lately. Yeah, they're sending me another bike. They did a yeah. Let's talk about that. They did another thing out in Arizona. I don't know exactly where they were. I haven't watched the other people's videos yet. But they did another trip to Arizona to release the new XP4. I was not invited to the trip. Yeah, a little sad, but I understand why. Okay. I think I was more of a pain for them than anything else going on the trip. I was the only guy with a mobility scooter, first off, okay? And they always had to drive me everywhere we went. Maybe the girl who drove me, she's the marketing director, yeah. She drove me everywhere I went because she had a car, because she doesn't live there either. She lives in Texas. And so she had to rent a car. And so since she had the car, she would drive me wherever we were going, whether it was a restaurant or whatever. Maybe she wasn't there, so there was no one to drive me around. I don't know. But I kind of figure I'm more of a pain for them because everybody else that are YouTubers there, they're usually younger guys, right? They can handle the heat and things. I'm a little tougher to deal with. Yeah, I was really suffering out in Arizona. So maybe they figured, yeah, let's not invite Russ. He's got too much issues going on. That's my guess. I don't know, okay? But that's my guess. But I did reach out to our influencer marketing, coordinator person. Yeah, it's Christian. And his name is Christian, okay? I'm not saying he's a Christian. He might be. His name is Christian. So I said, hey, can I get one of the new XP4s for review? He says, absolutely. He says, I was going to reach out to you after all this stuff was done so I know how much inventory is coming in so we know when we can ship. So I've made a request for the XP4 to be reviewed in white, Stratus white color, and in the larger battery capacity. Okay, so this would be the 750 watt version of the bike. Now the interesting thing is that bike has a 500 watt version that is $999, and then how much is the other one? $12.99, something like that. Is it $12 or $13.99? I think it's like $12.99. Is a 750 watt version with a larger battery. I think the first one is like maybe 10 or 11 amp hours, and then the larger one is 17.5 amp hour battery. Now I want that one because, as you know, sometimes I go some distance, and the larger battery is necessary. Plus, I'm heavier, right? So I want that. Plus, the 750 watt motor is more powerful. It has 85 Newton meters of torque, okay? And all of the bikes I've had that are 85 Newton meters of torque or more can climb the hills a lot better. So on the long run, for me, I prefer to have that power. Now, the other one, I think it's either 60 or 65 Newton meters of torque. That's the 500 watt motor one. Still, that's a good value bike. They haven't raised the price, and they added a whole bunch of stuff to it. I mean, I watched the launch of the thing on. They did a live thing, you know, on YouTube. I watched it. I go, man, did they really improve this thing a lot? And they didn't raise the price. They didn't. I gotta get that bug off of there. It was a bug about ready to crawl into my car. They didn't raise the price or anything. I was like shocked. I go, wow, they're really giving a lot for the money. That's the one thing with electric, I have to say. They really do a good job of keeping the customer happy. Yeah, and then their support is really good too. I mean, I'm really surprised. Yeah. So, yeah, tariffs and all, they're just absorbing it and giving you more. I don't know how they do it. You know, this company is fairly large. There's a lot of people that work there, and you know, they even donated a bunch of money. Remember, they gave me $5,000 to give to my local charity and everything. They did that to a bunch of people. They gave out like $250,000. I mean, it's amazing. They're not a small company. They're the #1 e-bike company in the United States right now. So, yeah, I'm glad to be part of them. But I understand why they may not have wanted me to come to this launch. I'm just hoping maybe one day they'll bring me back. Yeah, I would like to go back. But anyway, that's the story. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to get ready to go to Costco a little bit later. I can't go this now at this point. I've got to go back home and turn off the upload. It takes a while to upload. Yeah, it's the same bug. I'm seeing him fly away. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this whole window repair. If you've ever had anything done, what your thoughts are. And you know, I was surprised to see that tariff fee. You know, it wasn't a lot. What was it? How much was that thing? Tariff relief, $5.40. I was surprised just to see that, but it's there. I don't know what it is. You know, maybe they must be buying the glass from somewhere or something. It's not on the labor. Can't be tariff fee on the labor. It's got to be on the material. The only materials was the glass. So tell me what you think about that. All right. And let's try to keep the politics to a minimum here. But yeah, I mean, have you okay, here's another question for you. Have you run into other things where you had a tariff fee yet? I mean, that outright says tariff on there. Let me know if you've seen that yet. This is the first time I've actually seen something labeled tariff. Tariff relief is what they called it. Let me know about that. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.